So I'm Stephanie Vegh. I'm an artist from Hamilton, and I'm one of the artists installing here with CAFKA. This is my installation here. This is called The Hive and the Host. This was a new installation for me, done specifically for CAFKA here at the Walper Hotel. The interest in bees, it started out originally as just more of an aesthetic thing. I like the look of bees. I like the industriousness of bees. You know, the idea that they come with a strong work ethic, that they are a hive and that they work as a society in that way. But the more I researched bees, I became a lot more interested in colony collapse disorder and the idea of bee populations vanishing, and more specifically the idea that we don't really know scientifically why that's happening yet, which, you know, sort of reveals a lapse in how far, you know, human knowledge has gone these days, that there is a limit to what we know, and that limit sort of reveals an opportunity to be a bit more imaginative about where bees go. So for me, working with the bees has been a lot about trying to think of other, you know, more otherworldly explanations for where bees are going when they disappear. Part of my interest in using the hotel as a space for this project is I like the idea of sort of maybe playing a little bit off of this sort of, you know, paranoia of public spaces that especially comes from being in a hotel. You want it to feel like home, and, you know, there's always a sort of paranoia of infestation, and you want to have this sort of sense that, you know, you're going to be in a clean space. And, you know, so for me there is a certain like jokingness of, you know, having something that is an infestation coming into this sort of space, and what sort of anxieties might that trigger for a visitor to the hotel. Although obviously I think the bees don't necessarily look all that threatening in this space. I think actually aesthetically they're very much at home here, but they are sort of creeping into the walls a bit at the same time. So all of the bees, there's 112 to start with, and they'll probably be closer to 300 to 400 by the time I'm done. So for doing bees on that scale, I started out by doing lino block prints to begin with. So there's a certain number of bee prototypes where I've printed multiples. That are just a single color print, and then from there all of the bees are colored by hand using ink and watercolor pencil. And this is done on really thin Japanese paper, so it has a bit of a translucency to it. It has a very thin surface, like not even a millimeter, so that when they're applied to the wall, they basically can sit perfectly flush to the wall and have the appearance of having really just been drawn directly onto the wall, while still allowing me to do a lot of the work in advance.